Hello, hello. A bit late today. Had to get a couple things done before jumping on live here, but here we are. Here we are. Today alright, so I'm planning on drawing one for sure, maybe two Pokemon. I have a sketch of Machoke that I'm gonna kind of try to use, and translate it basically onto the program here. So Machoke, maybe Numel, and I have to update the thumbnail for these streams, especially the drawing ones. I have 4 Pokemon on there: Kingdra, Arcanine, Machoke, and Numel. Those were like the next 4 that I planned on drawing. So I already drew 4 of them, and at this point I just have to draw the last 2. So I want to update it and kind of put a little bit more effort into it, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. I'm gonna try to start putting this together. I don't know if you can hear the music or not. Probably a little bit better. Okay. I'm trying to make sure everything's placed in a good spot. I got the mic over here. Trying to move the mouse around and the tablet. There's a lot of stuff going on my desk. Lots and lots and lots of stuffs. Okay. I feel like I need to invest in a mic, like an arm for a mic. You know, those things that clip onto your desk. You can pull it, you can push it away. Right now I have it on a little like stand. It's not the best, I would say. Alright. Get the time lapse going. Alright, so I know last time I was kind of talking about how I'm really bad at drawing like 4-legged creatures like Arcanine. I'm even worse at drawing like humanoid figures, which I'm pretty sure of all the Pokemon I've drawn so far, the 230-ish, I don't think any of them are really too humanoid. Maybe a few couple, but the really humanoid looking ones, that's like the struggle. Anyways, let's get to it. I'm always like trying to delay starting it off because whenever I start drawing, it's like, all right, I gotta finish it. Once I start the drawing, I gotta finish it. But I'm like anxious to start because I don't know how well it's gonna go. All right, let's just kind of get the shapes in here. I'm like using this reference I got. Not really a reference, but it's just a sketch that I made of Machoke. And now I'm just trying to sketch this out off of that sketch. I feel like the initial sketches always look bad. they never quite match how I want it to look like. I'm just gonna roll with it. Let's add the grid lines on here. Okay. Shoulders. I feel like the chest, you know, has got to be really big, and then it gets thinner as we get to the waist. It's kind of wearing like underwear, but I'm not going to exactly draw it like that, but it will kind of help just giving it an idea, give me an idea of how it's laid out. It's gonna be very stiff, but I hope after I get the initial sketch out, it'll kind of come to life, more or less. Again, it's too tall for the size. This looks just like a general humanoid like figure. Elbow. And then a hand. That did not kind of match up with the other one. All right, this arm is too long. Shrink it up a bit, shrink it down. Something like that. Okay. So that's the first general figure sketch. From here, I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do I pose it in a way that kind of makes sense? So the way I sketched it out was like this. I'm gonna move this around as if it's a actual figure. So I got the shoulder, the arms coming up right there, then the elbow. Tweak it, kind of like holding onto his hip. Then the other arm, I drew like he's flexing. So, leave it like that. Part's gonna be up here. Obviously, I gotta really beef him up. He's too lanky right now. But that can definitely be fixed. So I'm gonna add more depth in here, more space. Doesn't look too feminine. I'm trying to give him like chest, like big bulky chest. Okay. Triceps too big on that one. All right. here. Make this big. And his fist is going to be coming out this way. Oh, what's the original? Okay, this is... I already forgot which one was the mirror image, which one was not. I think the arm is a little too far up. I think something like this looks good. I gotta add in shoulder muscle kind of here. And the neck. Head might be too small. Hold on, let me just double check. I turned the time lapse on. Yes, I did. All right, cool. Add the legs. Are the legs too short? They might be too short. So the good thing about this is, like, I feel like I can spot issues with the drawing. And I think I'm decent with, like, correcting it. But on the first attempt, I cannot get it right. Like, proportion-wise, I can't, like, really draw it close enough on the first shot. I'm still, like, trial and erroring it. If that makes sense. Kneecap right here. Probably won't be able to tell it too much. Then the calf. I'm pretty sure. What's his face? Machoke has like toes, like human toes. Do I try and draw the face separately? Sometimes I draw the face on the side and just pop it in. It's a little easier for me that way. Now I'm gonna do it here. I'm gonna make it bigger, make the head bigger. Let's see. Kind of like a crocodile face, which is a little weird. Like, if you take a second to think about it, it's kind of weird. How do I want this to look? Maybe something like that. I feel like it's gonna be tall. What? Maybe not that square. It should not be that square. Alright, I'm just gonna round it off up here. It has these weird, like, strip things that kind of go across the top of its head. Does it have 3 or 2? I'm actually not even sure myself at this point. Let's get the eyes going. Okay. Not turning out too bad. It doesn't quite look like Machoke, but obviously it's still pretty early on. He looks way too, like, he looks too skinny. Like, he hasn't been bulking up in the gym. So that tells me that I really gotta beef him up. I wonder if it's as easy as just taking the body and widening it up. It might just be that easy. I mean, that helps. This helps already. Definitely does. Okay. Get the toes over here. It's so weird having a Pokemon with toes. Alright, this foot is a little lower than the other one. Let me try to even that out real quick. Something like that. And I think also I don't want him to be so stiff. What if I kind of have him leaning back a little bit? Maybe. This is like really the experimentational part of the sketch. It's like, all right, how far can I move things without it looking busted? He does actually need his little diaper thing because that's where his belt is. I'm gonna have to pull out some sort of reference very soon. Do with your face. Looks a little off. Well, it does in a way, but I think it'll kind of fix itself. Alright, I'm gonna actually jump into the second sketch. And I'm gonna pull out a reference. Bear with me, please. Let me actually also get the music back. All right, where do we got him? Choke. Yeah, we got human toes. We got crocodile face. Pretty elongated snout, actually. He does have kind of like a boxier face. His arms are jacked. Like, I need to, man, every part of this dude is a lot bigger than what I've actually drawn. Alright, so let's see. I'm gonna try to go with the face right now. Wow, it's just not coming out the way I want it to. Alright, that's gonna be, I guess, good enough here. Okay, next, let me try to get his head. he actually does have like a boxy head, which is funny. When I was like, oh, it's not that boxy. And then it goes straight into like a neck. So in this case, like his neck is literally like that big. Maybe a little bit thinner, I guess. Maybe something like that. I can fix it. Shoulders are like massive right here. I just lost the tab. All right, I'm gonna bring it over to the image here, to the drawing rather. So another shoulder there. What I'm actually missing here is that the belt kind of comes up, covers the belly. It wasn't really doing in the initial sketch. I feel like this arm doesn't look correct, especially around the elbow. Does it? I actually have no idea. Kind of, but not really. The hand looks all right. It looks all right, but yeah, it could definitely look worse. Things gotta be thinner. What the heck is this? Like scars or just like his skin kind of like coming apart so hard because his muscles are so massive? It's happening over here too. All right, we'll figure that out later. Let's move the chest plate, or just the chest, a little bit this way. This just as a placeholder for his like Pokemon championship belt. He definitely looks more brolic than before. That's definitely a plus. And I'm gonna try to make his biceps and triceps and everything just like really massive. Alright, I'm just putting this as the placeholder for the fist. Because I'm trying to figure out how the fist is going to look like in that position. That might be one of the last things I get to. That might just be. Okay, so that kind of looks good. The headpiece, sort of, right? I think the eyes are smaller than what I initially drew them as. That looks wrong too. Okay, maybe this is better. Okay, that's kind of good, but not really. Now in terms of the legs, or should I just work on this weird hand piece? Alright, I'm gonna erase this weird shape that I put in here. I'm gonna try to wing it. I'm gonna try to figure out how it's supposed to look. I don't know if the music was too loud at this point. I was looking at the bars and I think it was overpowering my voice. So if it was, that kind of sucks. But hopefully y'all can still hear. Man, hands are like the hardest thing to draw, dude. What the heck? I'm literally looking at my own hand, trying to retrace it somehow. So this is kind of, sort of, what I'm trying to go for, but it's also just not. Man, the mental fortitude it takes to draw this thing is kind of insane. It could be worse. I feel like I say that all the time, though. It could be worse. I don't know if I want to just leave it. Could try to make it bigger. That doesn't always mean better. Although kind of fixed it here, I think. Hold on. Move you right here. Then this hand's got to be bigger too. Which, sure, why not? Why the heck not? All right, I think adding that little curve right there to show the other side of the face helped a lot. Subtle little touch, but it looks better. It looks like his face is more full. And I think it helps in terms of like the angle which this is in. It shows that, all right, the snout is not the entire bottom half of the face, you know, looking more so forward. There's the two cheeks, you know, you can actually see the other side of the face. It's not being fully blocked by like the mouthpiece and whatnot. Then see, the legs are big chunky legs too, and I kind of want to draw them in a similar fashion. So I could just freestyle it right now and go off a little bit off the cuff compared to what I sketched out before. It's gonna kind of be a problem, I think, but we'll see. All right, now we're gonna have to do the same thing. We're gonna move this around. Move the joints around a bit. So you can go up here. This will go kind of more so like this. The foot. Actually, I don't really know what to do with this. I'm gonna get rid of it. Five toes on this thing? 5 toes. So now since I drew this part like bent, that means this part has to kind of be bent too. Or, hold on, I'm trying to think of a different pose. What if I have him like on one knee? Kind of like... Well, if I have on one knee, hold up. If I have this dude on one knee, this has to now be up here. This has to now be kind of coming up here. And then this whole aspect... Boom. I'm like, do I even bother having that sketch in the background? Because I am totally going off the cuff at this point. And then this part comes down. Wow, this is really, really rough. This looks really bad. Okay. I want to cheat a little bit because what I could do, copy and paste this leg, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna struggle right now. I'm gonna make it hard so I can actually learn a little bit. Whoa, okay, I drew on a different... Interesting. Okay, I have two different layers here. Let me merge them. Okay, that's fine. Now, how the heck do I draw a foot that's bent in that weird way? So this is the heel. Okay. Looks way too small, but generally I think this shape is kind of on point. All right, so then big toe over here. Smaller, 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 pinky. Is that right? it's so weird. All right, so this is definitely too long. This part. This part is too long. We've established that. Let's shorten it. Let's move this. This kind of just, okay, goes up. Nah, there's just something about this. So he's not really lined up well here. And I think I know why. So, all right, this part, basically the knee and down, needs to be elevated a bit, and then the foot gets dropped like so. I'm trying to figure out if the size of like the shin here and this one are about the same length, and I don't think they are, which is also another problem. Wow, the struggle is real on this one, guys. This is why I don't draw human characters. That's a little bit better, I would say. Whoops. Like a smidge better, maybe? So here's a quick test. Are you actually standing on the same level? And it doesn't look like you are. So what if I go and did this? Hold on. Let me get rid of the reference. Put on another layer. Okay. Hide it. The way I kind of look is I check the bottom of the image canvas, and if it looks like he's standing on it, then I know it's kind of evened out. I don't know if I like this or not. Like it's cool. It's kind of better than I thought it would look like in some ways, but at the same time, I don't love it. And one of the issues is I don't know how to fix it to a degree. I just got rid of like the thigh. Made it bigger. This leg feels a little chunkier, in my opinion. Let's see if I can flatten out this knee a little bit more. So that's another thing. The knee needs to be touching the ground just like the foot is. That's the other thing. What if I moved this a little bit up? Okay. And what if I moved this a little bit down? You think it looks fine? All right, appreciate it. Sometimes, you know, you need like a different perspective. I've been looking at this now for, what, about 40 minutes or so, and there's something off with it. Maybe once I start like adding in the line art, it'll be a little bit better. I'm also like my worst critic. Might need to adjust something again. All right, I'm gonna try to start inking this in. Too thick line art, maybe. Oh, whoop, hold on, I actually did not add it as a vector. There we go. Should be better now. Let me redo that. Let me get his head shape a little bit more in line before I go ahead and do that. Facts, artist, facts. Try that again. There we go. this last one's a little messed up. Okay. Is that better? I think so. Yeah. You're the vector eraser. Hold on, where did I have the head kind of ending here? Alright, we got the teeth. Alright, the head's looking fine. I want to say. Time to get to the chest. Thought I went too far for a second there. All right, get the elbow. It really is like one of my biggest weaknesses in just drawing human anatomy like this. Because, you know, with other Pokemon I've drawn, they're kind of like, sometimes they're just like a shape or two with like arms and legs. It's a lot simpler. And I feel like there's more leeway on whether or not it's exactly the way it's supposed to look. But when it comes to like human anatomy, if it's not like spot on, you can tell it's wrong like a mile away. So there's like nothing to hide behind, you know? It's like you either can do it or you can't. Hands too. Hands suck. Drawing hands absolutely sucks. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it at all. I've tried many times. I've like drawn hands in a lot of different ways. In some positions I've kind of figured it out how to do it, but generally there's always trouble when I try to draw hands. Like this spot, for example. Technically, the thumb shouldn't be seen. So I feel like I shouldn't draw it. But then if I don't draw it, it feels to me like it's wrong. So I'm gonna go ahead and not draw it just to kind of feel it out. And we'll go from there. Alright, I think I might need to either go very slowly with this one or get the circle tool. That's not bad. I think I could work with that. We got a P right in the middle there. Hold on. Circles are also interesting. Like, I feel like sometimes I could draw them very well. Like, that one came out okay. Like, I'm willing to stick with it. But also sometimes they're a pain in the ass. And it just won't come out the way they need to. Let me actually move these a little bit. Little bit. There we go. Is that like crooked? That might be okay. Just barely, but I think it's fine. Actually, I feel like this one should cover that leg. Because you're not seeing it. You're not seeing when it comes out. Okay, this is not looking as bad as I initially thought. Big fat feet. Okay, looking good. But this was not the foot that I had problems with. Alright, let's get back to the arm. Excuse me. Because as I had a foot that I was not happy with, I have a arm, or rather a hand, that equally not as happy with. This hand's gonna be a mess. Absolute mess. Something weird with the face? Or is that just me? I've been looking at it for way too long. Let me get the reference out. Hold on. Let me actually use the reference to kind of draw some muscle lines up here. Oops. Okay. Oh, I guess it went back to the legs. Just randomly went back to the legs. Alright, that's fine. I think the hands still feel too small, in my opinion. Let's just roll with it. Alright, there's the thumb. Hold up. There's the... nope. Better. There's the thumb. Move this maybe? Part of the bicep? Or the forearm, I mean? Okay. Alright, alright. So it's nearly fully, not sketched out, inked out. Now, what can I do here? Do I want to widen the thigh? No, I'm gonna leave it. Let me try to draw these first. Get rid of the big toe, redraw it. Something like that. I feel like I need to make an arch a little bit more on the foot. Kind of like that. It's good, but I think it needs to be what's the word? Farther down like this. Whoa, what was that? That just randomly pulled up. Sometimes drawing in vectors makes things a little weird. Alright, that looks a lot better, I think. Still feel like the proportion of this left leg is off. But I feel like if I keep tweaking it, it's gonna look even worse. I think I have to kind of leave it and just roll with it. What dogs? Are you hearing dogs from my stream? Or did my music somehow change? What's going on? Music's still playing. Not sure what you mean. Not quite sure. The Stompers. Yeah, they got big feet. Big old feet. Well, I guess not every drawing is going to be a winner, I guess, but I'm going to try to roll with it. Let's start adding color in. Red P. Is the same red? I believe so. Okay. Actually, that's gonna be like a tongue color. This is like the mouth. What do we got for the eyes? Red. Same kind of color. All right. I'm thinking to myself, if this is how Machoke looked like, man, am I excited to draw the other two. Oh, I just drew a shiny by accident. Okay. I'm gonna try. I think it was you, bad artist, that called me out for it. For shading on the same layer as the color. So I'm gonna try to do it on a different layer here. Although the way it's set up, there's probably a setting that I'm not using that can help me out with it. But let's see, if I do shadow here, I could actually, you know what I'm gonna do? That's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna duplicate this layer. I'm gonna shade on this one. It looks the same with or without. All right, cool. So this will be the shading layer. Trying to make it where I don't get the shading on the arm here. If I do the soft, it should lighten that up a bit. All right. Okay. Okay, under the chin, under the head, really. Something like this will be fine. right. Apologize if I'm being a little quieter today. I feel like this drawing specifically is taking a lot of like mental focus just to kind of get done. Even though I'm just shading at this point, I'm still trying to like make sense of like what, like how it would actually look naturally. So it still takes a little bit of focus. You're thinking about where the light source is and the shape of the hands and how that kind of reacts to it. Like I said, hands suck. I gotta make sure I get that that thumb before moving on. Dead chest, okay. I just realized I shaded the wrong part of the fingers here. Let me try to fix that. Yeah, trust the process. Yeah, man. I'm trying. Have I ever made Fakemon? Not recently. The only thing I really kind of tried to do recently was about a year ago, actually. Tried to make a Mega Evolution for Hexorus. But no, I haven't like worked on making like Fakemon. I wanted to really maybe try to do it, but there's a lot of, you know, ideation behind it. I feel like it takes quite a long time to actually get an idea that is good. But that's not, you know, a bad idea. Maybe I can try to jump back into it and see what I can come up with. And also, I've just kind of been on that whole drawing every single existing Pokemon. I didn't really want to deviate too much from that, since that already is taking up a decent bit of time. But never say never. Never say never. I was trying to figure out maybe if I could do like maybe a new fake region starter Pokemon. That could be maybe a cool idea. Okay. Whoa, why did that happen? Oh, it was on highlight. Got it. Alright, we got the top half more or less shaded in. Let me get the eyes filled in with white, so you're not going to see a difference there. Same with the teeth. Same with the teeth. Whoops. Oh. Well, that was weird. Am I drawing on the wrong layer? I think I am. Yeah. Of course. I knew that was going to happen. As soon as I made a copy of the color, I was like, I just knew I was going to accidentally start shading on the wrong layer. Still got to figure out how to actually go about doing that. Sure, we'll figure it out. I don't like how that's coming out. All right, it's looking a little better. Struggles, man. Yeah, I would. The worst part would be like when you realize it right as you're about to finish. You're like, all right, I'm almost done drawing this. Let me just check my layer. Oh, I drew in the wrong layer. Great. Now, what am I going to do? All good. Thankfully, it's not going to really be noticed generally. You know, the finished piece, I mean. Okay. All right, let's get these big chunky feet. Let's draw them. Let's shade them in. Get under that kneecap. Actually, should this part be kind of highlighted? The top of the foot, I think so. I think so. Right. Nice. You're probably gonna animate your favorite Pokemon Giratina and Pokemon animation. Dude, I would totally love to see that. I want to animate as well. I need to figure out how to do it with this program. I'm using Clip Studio Paint, and I know there's a bunch of like different animation programs, but I would totally love to animate as well. I'm sure more than I do probably that animation, takes a lot more time than just drawing a single image, which is probably one of the reasons why I haven't really dedicated myself to doing it. But when you can animate something and it looks so like smooth and fluid, it's so satisfying. It like makes all that work totally worth it. And I actually was wondering if I should stream myself animating my channel's character, like the little hedgehog that is like my profile pic. I want to animate what is it, like the transition screens when I stream. So like for example, when I switch over to this screen, instead of it just being an image of him sitting there with, kind of looking pissed off, I want him to like maybe be tapping his foot or doing something. So, trying to work on that. It's definitely a struggle, but when you're finished, it's the biggest reward. Yep, 100%. Couldn't have said it better myself. So, yeah, I might try to hop on animation a bit as well, specifically just with that. Yeah, make it a loop. Yeah, exactly. So I just have to like watch some tutorials on how this program specifically works with animation, and I'll try to put that together. And yeah, I would love to see whatever you put together with Giratina animation. Giratina being like this cool space like snake thing, especially if you're going towards the origin form. I think that'd be really cool. Why are these colors different now? I don't like that. What is going on? That's not it. Trying to figure out what I might have done wrong here, because the shading on the left leg doesn't quite match up now. With the rest of the body, which is strange. Welp. Just gonna keep on rolling with it. Could just be me, but I swear that's a different color. Dude, even though I just started storyboarding, I got very excited. You know, when I was still in college, I was actually considering going into like animation and doing storyboarding. Hey, Belton Diva, thank you so much. Glad you joined the stream. Yeah, I was wondering if I should do like storyboarding. I mean, I kind of worked on like a comic with a friend of mine for a while, and you know, with the different panels you put together for a comic, essentially it's like very similar to storyboarding. So I feel like I got a good sense of it, and the next step would obviously be, you know, putting it together and animating the whole thing. But yeah, storyboarding, I feel like that would be a really cool like job. So if you're if you're going into that, if you're going to be doing that as like a career, you know, more power to you and good luck. I think that'd be a lot of fun. All right. Machoke. I feel like man, I don't really know how to put it in words. You haven't shaded the rectus femoris. It looks pretty fully shaded to me. I might have missed a little part here now that I look, but that's more because it wasn't selected. Let me just try to fill that in real quick. Oh wait, this thing. Whatever the heck you want to call this. The rectus femoris, I guess. This should be quick though. And the highlights should be very thin. Because these things are very thin on its head. Okay, cool. Now that I get it all, I got the belt, I got the underwear, chunky legs, big arms. Got these weird little red strips, the mouth, the eyes. More or less the whole thing. Only thing I can also add in here is like shading in here because I figured it'd be darker. The light's coming from the left. Yeah, this part's going to be a little darker. Okay. Thanks, artist. Appreciate it. I think this is pretty good for what it is. I mean, I wish I could do it better, but I've been drawing for about an hour and a half at this point, and I put this together, so if I'm gonna draw all the Pokemon, there's plenty more humanoid looking ones, so if I can at least draw the other ones better than this, I'll take that as a win, and I'll be happy with that. Let me check in here. No, I did that part. All right, I'm gonna save it real quick. I'm gonna go to college and take an art class, but I don't know which one I should major in. I guess just you're probably gonna have to take some kind of like still life course, where you're drawing like real life things, like an apple on a table kind of idea, and looks a little, it could be a little bit boring, but I think that's gonna give you the foundation you need going forward into drawing like anything else. Thanks for joining Bad Artist and Belton Diva. Yeah, the next drawing stream should be next week. I'm gonna try to do them every Mondays around 9 EST. Start a little late today, but I'll try to like schedule it so you guys are aware, so it's not just like something you see on your feed one day when you go on YouTube. Thank you, Belton Diva. Cross for Jigglypuff soon. Yeah, I drew Jigglypuff already, but you know what? Maybe I'll draw her again. Or maybe, I haven't drawn Igglybuff or Wigglytuff, so those are definitely contenders. As well as what is that? Paradox Screamtail. All right, sounds good, Bad Artist. Looking forward to seeing that. All right, guys, I'm gonna end it off here. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next week, or this Thursday, where I'm gonna be playing Pokemon Fire Red. All right, guys, good night and take care.